Hello and welcome to Bitsbox World, Builds Made Easy.
Hello there, I'm Tom and welcome to the channel. I've got some more Combat Patrol models to build up. The Combat Patrols are growing, so I subscribed to the Hachette Partworks Combat Patrol magazines and you get a ton of models with these and 9 Combat Patrols. And so far I've been getting the Space Marine Combat Patrol and the Tyranid Combat Patrol, nearly coming to the end of these actually. So only a few more additions and I've got those complete Combat Patrols. But this one here, so this is magazine number 17 and magazine 18. It's a double header, so you would need both to get the full complement of the Termagant and Ripper Swarm. So 10 models of Termagants and 1 Ripper Swarm with that. But because I have signed up to the premium subscription and I've had enough deliveries now, they've sent me through my first premium set kit. Super exciting. Wow. What you get with this then is you get a Tyranid HIVE TYRANT. Looks so awesome. And you get a Dreadnought for your Space Marine. So I really liked the idea of the premium set because you do get extra models to add to your Combat Patrol. This first premium set that I've got through, my first big delivery, really excited about building these guys up. In this video I'm going to build up the HIVE TYRANT just because I've got magazine 17 and 18 to go through as well, and building up those 10 Termagants and Ripper Swarms. So let's just looking at the magazine, tells you how to build both of those premium kits, how to paint them, been collecting paints along the way with these magazine editions, so you can go back and have a look at my playlist of all of the editions that I have had up until this point, and the paints that I've got should be enough to paint these guys up. But this Tyranid HIVE TYRANT, oh, just looks so awesome, so nice. What I would say is the how to build instructions only tell you how to build one type of HIVE TYRANT. So if you follow the how to build section of this magazine, you'll build a HIVE TYRANT with a heavy venom cannon, a monstrous bone sword and a lash whip. So that's twin linked, that one. You'll need some clippers, some glue and a scraping tool just to get rid of any kind of flash on that model. But as you'll see from the sprues, you get a ton of extra stuff. There's wings there, there's extra weapons, but it only gives you the option of building one variant with the instructions. And Games Workshop, or Warhammer as they're now called, they're absolutely brilliant at this. They give you so many extra bits and bobs to build different variants, but you don't get enough of the core bits, so like the body, to build all of the variants in one go. So you have to make a choice. What are you going to glue onto your model? Are you going to go with this, that or the other? And yeah, you have to choose what you want to do. So I'm just going to clean these up just so they're nice and ready for me to start putting together. There are 2 types of legs on the sprue kit. So these ones are sort of legs that have hooves and it will stand nicely on a base. But there is also additional legs that have sort of talons on them because they're for the flying winged variant of the HIVE TYRANT, which would be really cool to build up. But I'm going to glue the body together and then make a decision on what I do. So you'll need a bit of plastic glue and yeah, just start putting it together, following the instructions. Some of the bits are very fiddly, some of the bits are quite small. And you'll start to see this guy building up and looking really awesome. The basic Hive Tyrant that it asks you to build then, it does come, as I said, with the Heavy Venom Blaster. So that's a cannon. It's got a 36-inch range, D3 attacks, 2+ ballistic skill, strength 9, -2 AP, and 3 damage dice. So that's yeah, that's really quite good. The other cannon that you can get is called a Stranglethorn cannon, and the difference with that is that's got D6 +1 attacks, ballistic skill 2+, only strength 7 though, and -1 AP and 2 damage dice. So you do get a nice difference there with whatever cannon you want, but you can only put one on there. So getting this all put together, the tail looks really cool, putting it on the body and gluing things together. As I was building this though, I was just filled with sadness that I wouldn't be able to use all those other pieces, and I had a bit of an idea, and I know loads of people have done this before, and I don't know why I haven't, but I thought I could use magnets. So then I could make a model with all of the different variants. I thought about this a little bit too late though, because as you can see, I was building it all together and gluing it up, and then I thought I'm gonna actually magnetize things together. So I had to, whilst the glue was not yet fully dry, I had to tear this guy apart so I could change my plan. So to do your magnetizing, this is my technique. I use a little pin. I kind of push that in to make a handy hole initially. These are the magnets that I've got, and then I've got a pin drill. So I drill down just a little bit in with a very thin drill, because putting a paper clip in, you can cut that paper clip and then just get a bit of paint and put that on the end of the paper clip. And this seems a little bit mad, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that to line up against the other piece that's going to be magnetized onto here. It ends up leaving just a nice paint dot, so you know where you need to drill for the corresponding magnet. And yeah, I think it's a little ingenious way. I used to guess, and things would end up really badly. But there we are. So I've got a pin drill that I use for all of my drilling, but you could use an electric drill. Just obviously the plastic does drill fairly easily, and I do start by going up the drill size bits just until I've got a big enough space to put the magnet in, and then just a bit of super glue, and then put the magnet into the gap. And there you are, you've got a magnetized model that you can start to change up all of the bits, so you can use all of the different variants. There you go, Games Workshop. Beating you there. I'm not going to spend my money on another box for a Hive Tyrant when I can just change out. Obviously, if I want another Hive Tyrant, I'll be back, don't worry. I'll come and get one. The arms, because I'm using quite strong magnets, the arms, they do look quite large in there, but when everything is sprayed up and everything's painted together, I think it will look alright in the end. And everything kind of just clips together. I made it so I could place the body in 2 different directions as well, and then I can stick the head on in multiple different ways as well using the magnets. Really quite cool, and I love the fact that I've never done this before, and this is the first time So I'm really impressed with it. So there is the heavy venom cannon, the whip that you get, slash whip, and then also the monstrous bone sword as well. This guy looks awesome. So this is the variant that you get if you were to build following the how to build guide and you were gluing it all together. He would look like this. Why don't you let me know in the comments below if you've magnetized any of your models before. It was really fun doing this because now I can use all of the different variants. So I love the way it kind of flicks on. I'm really sad in that way, never mind. And this variant means that I can use all of the bone swords that he gets. So you can have 4 blades, still just on his hooved feet. But that looks really cool. He looks so vicious with the 4 arms there and the multiple different blades. I've got a different head as well that I can stick on. So I can change that up. And it means that I can use all of the pieces. And for whatever game type I'm using this guy for, if I'm facing an army that needs a melee type attacking force against them, or if I need a bit more firepower, I can change this guy up. So also the talons there as well. I love these. They're like, what are they like? A praying mantis, I guess. But they look really, really cool. And all just magnetize on. Yeah, really nice, really nice. Now, the HIVE TYRANT does come also with an additional gun. So the first gun that I had on him was the heavy venom cannon, which has a 36-inch range, D3 attacks, 2+ ballistic skill, 9 strength, -2 AP, and 3 damage dice. But it also has the Stranglethorn cannon, which has 36-inch range, D6+1 on the attacks, ballistic skill 2+, strength 7, and -1 AP, 2 damage dice on that one. So I like the fact that I can change between those guns as well. And then I really like the flying variant as well. The tail and the legs look awesome. And then you can stick these wings onto it as well. So I'm going to get another base so I can make a different flying variant as well. I'll stick those legs and the tail onto a different base, and then I can switch between. But this guy looks really, really cool with the wings and the cannon, ready to go in and demolish the foes of the Tyranid armies. And then, yeah, we're coming back to the actual Combat Patrol editions that I spoke about at the beginning. So, magazine 17 and 18, really cool. This is a double header. You get the 10 termagants and the Ripper Swarm with these. So, I did also previously get 10 termagants and Ripper Swarm for my Combat Patrol. So, this will now mean that I've got 20. So, loads and loads. But the Combat Patrol magazines are really cool. They give you loads to read. They give you the how to build or how to paint sections. They also give you some further bits about the collection that you've been collecting up. And then they also give you some more basics of how to play, or strategies or scenarios that you can do with learning the Combat Patrol game variant. So I really like them. And obviously, if you want to just get these 10 termagants and a Ripper Swarm, you would have to get both Combat Patrol magazine 17 and 18. Or you could buy a box from Warhammer store, I guess. But I really like in here that it's got the different, in the read section, the Hive Fleet adaptation section. And explaining some of the adaptations that Tyranids go through. So there is the Leviathan, Behemoth, Hydra, Kronos, Kraken, and is it Jormungandr? Completely butchered that. You can let me know. But I didn't realise that there was loads of different variants to the Tyranids army. I'm a Space Marine man of the past, but I've really enjoyed getting the Combat Patrol in, getting the Combat Patrol Space Marine army, but also the Tyranids. And then also with the magazine edition as well, it tells you a bit about some of the factions that you get with Space Marines. So Dark Angels are covered, White Scars, Space Wolves, Imperial Fist, Blood Angel, Iron Hands, I really like them, they're cool, Ultramarines, Salamanders, and the Raven Guard. Now, I like the Imperial Fists myself, but the subsect of them, which is the Crimson Fist, they're my favourite. Why don't you let me know in the comments below, who do you like, and what are your armies that you're building at the moment, your combat patrols for 40,000. But yeah, really good just to get these magazines and learn a bit more about the lore and a bit more about what is going on in the Warhammer 40,000 world, and getting some models along the way. It's nice to get them sent on a monthly basis, so it gives you time to build them and get them ready in a more manageable factor, rather than getting a big box set, building one model and leaving it in the box with all your grey shame. So let's get these termagants built up then. So magazine 17 has the how to build section for all of your 10 termagants that you get across both editions. So you need a bit of glue, some clippers and a scraping tool, and it's just about following the numbers really, clipping them out, following the numbers and building them up. These termagants come in 3 parts, whereas the Ripper Swarms come in 4 parts, but they look really cool. Thanks for dropping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. Why not like and subscribe, and I will see you in another video.
Thanks for watching Bitsbox World, builds made easy.